Some games arrive quietly.
Others arrive with legacy attached.
This one came with the weight of history, a name etched into the minds of millions. Now reimagined for a new generation. Not a remaster, not a nostalgia tour, but a full rebuild of a classic identity. And with that came pressure, because memories are fragile and expectations brutal. What emerged was a shooter defined by control. Every trigger pull had weight. Every reload felt deliberate. Gunplay wasn't just about landing shots. It was about rhythm, recoil, and sound.
Movement was tighter.
Sprinting wasn't careless. Corners demanded respect. For the first time in years, the series asked players to slow down, not to camp, but to think.
Strategy returned.
The campaign took advantage of this tone shift. It avoided the temptation to simply redo what came before. Instead, it borrowed ideas, moments, themes, and then reshaped them. A familiar character walks onto the screen, but they speak differently. The mission name sounds familiar, but the objective doesn't go how you expect.
It was a bold move.
One that honored the past without being trapped by it.
Visually, it was stunning.
From storm-soaked oil rigs to sunlit European cities, every environment was layered with detail. Reflections shimmered across puddles. Muzzle flashes lit up pitch-black interiors. Character models were expressive. Facial animations sold tension, fear, and resolve without needing words. But perhaps more impressive was the audio. Each gun had its own voice. Bullets cracked through air with terrifying realism. Footsteps weren't just ambient, they were information. Then came the cast. No longer just archetypes, they felt human. Banter between missions, frustrations mid-fight, the weariness of constant conflict. It all painted a clearer picture of who these people were. Ghost returned as more than a mask. Soap brought levity and heart. Price remained the moral core, steady as ever. Their chemistry wasn't forced, it was earned. The gameplay variety impressed, too. Some missions were classic military ops, tight, coordinated strikes. Others went off script. One moment you're rappelling down a skyscraper in silence. The next you're crafting makeshift tools from scraps while being hunted.
These moments didn't just break up the pacing, they made you feel vulnerable.
But it wasn't flawless. A few missions over-relied on spectacle. Some AI behaviors felt dated. There were moments when the intensity dipped too far into monotony. Yet, even with its imperfections, the experience remained cohesive.
Ambitious, even.
This wasn't a soulless product banking on a title. It was a carefully designed return to form. Not just an FPS, but a statement. It wasn't trying to be the old favorite. It was trying to be worthy of standing beside it. Multiplayer returned with confidence, but not clarity. What once defined this franchise now felt uncertain, stretched between grounded tactics and arcade roots. There was ambition, no doubt. But ambition alone doesn't win matches.
Execution does.
And this time, the experience felt conflicted, stunning on the surface, yet often frustrating beneath it. Movement slowed. Gunfights tightened. Tactical play became the expectation. But maps didn't follow suit. Many were wide, multi-layered, and packed with awkward angles. Some designs rewarded positioning. Others rewarded passivity. The result? Pacing that felt inconsistent. Rushers got punished. Campers thrived. Not through skill, but through layout. It wasn't tense. It was tedious. Audio praised in the campaign became a burden online. Footsteps thundered through walls. Every reload echoed like a warning bell. The sound design was realistic, but too realistic. It led to anxiety, not immersion. Matches devolved into walkfests. Players crept, crouched, waited. Gunfights became ambushes. Strategy gave way to paranoia. The time to kill was blistering.
Realistic, yes.
But it reduced firefights to coin flips. Peek a corner and get deleted.
No time to react, no time to recover.
Skill mattered, but not as much as line of sight. Combined with inconsistent spawning, it turned matches into meat grinders. You'd respawn, sprint, die, repeat. It wasn't rewarding. It was exhausting. Then there was the progression system. On paper, it pushed players to explore new weapons. In practice, it forced detours. Want a red dot?
Use a gun you hate. Want a grip?
Level something unrelated. It wasn't variety, it was obligation. A checklist disguised as depth. Instead of rewarding playstyles, it punished preference. Kill streaks and perks remained, but not untouched. Perks now activated mid-match. Early rounds felt bare. Momentum was harder to build. Field upgrades added options, but rarely impact.
And loadouts?
Caught between simplicity and complexity. Customization was deep, but often overwhelming. New modes entered the mix. Invasion, ground war, third person.
Bold ideas, scattered focus.
Some clicked. Most didn't. Lobbies emptied.
Modes vanished from rotation.
What was meant to expand felt like noise. And under all of it, Warzone integration loomed, tying balance to a different ecosystem entirely. Weapon tuning, playlist updates, live events. It became a service. Constant tweaks, constant changes. Some welcome.
Others frustrating.
Identity began to blur. Was this a tactical shooter? A casual frag fest? A battle royale companion? The game didn't seem sure. And neither were the players. Many stuck around. Others moved on. Because while the mechanics were sharp, the vision lacked focus. It wasn't the worst entry, not by far. But it wasn't the return to glory either. It was polished, but not precise, bold, but not brave.
A great shooter hidden inside a confused one.
For a title with this much legacy, that just wasn't enough.